Hi guys, welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out today. I'm super honored and excited to bring you this video. I've been working on it for probably about 2 weeks now, just gathering stories, talking to people, and figuring out the way to set it up. Today I am going to be doing a video about suicide prevention and mental health awareness and where tattoos and those subjects collide and how they help others. So snuggle up, get comfy, grab like a coffee, a hot cocoa, whatever floats your boat, and hang out a little bit because there are definitely some really incredible stories that I'm going to share with you. I think it's fair to start with mine, not because like I'm the star of the show or whatever, but I asked people if they would be willing to share the stories with me in very public places, on my Facebook, on my Instagram, things like that, and I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised by the amount of people who responded. So thank you to the people who responded. I think, it would be only fair to share my story, to, be candid, and I asked other people, so why not? So we'll start with mine. I'm a little bit off to the side. I'm gonna move this a little bit more so I can put the tattoo right here. So my tattoo is a dream catcher. I know, before you judge, there is a story, and I'm about to tell you about it. When I was younger, my mother would always put dream catchers in our rooms, my brother and I, and it was just basically her way of trying to protect us and, keep our dreams sweet and whatnot. And this one actually is crafted after a dream catcher that I had from her. I did design this tattoo when I was 17 years old. When I was 8 years old, my mother had committed suicide, and when I was 17, my brother also committed suicide, and they both shot themselves. So if you look on here, you'll see that there are bullets with both of their initials on them, as well as their favorite flowers. My mom's favorite flower was a rose. My brother's favorite flower was a lily, an orange lily. I think that's called lily of the valley. I'm not entirely sure, but I got them in a way that they were just budding to symbolize their life. And the quote on it is, "Love what is yours to love, appreciate it every minute of every day, never judge, live simply so that others may simply live, initiate authenticity and you will be rewarded." That was actually written in my brother's suicide note. So I kept those words with me because my brother was like my soulmate. I mean, for people, soulmates are definitely not just romantic things. But he was like my best friend. Like, we had our own language, didn't have to really tell each other anything when we were together. We weren't physically together a lot because we did live in separate places most of our lives. But when we were physically together, it was like we would look at each other and not even need to speak language or whatever. So when I read that in his note, I was just like, dude, this is the stuff we would talk about all the time. I have to keep that with me forever. I would like to finish it off by putting a lotus flower at the bottom, but I think, and I want that to symbolize me coming through all of it, but I don't think I'm ready in life for that yet, which is why I think I haven't found an artist who can add to it, because I will never go back. I'm not crediting the tattoo artist. I will credit the tattoo artist for the other tattoos. This tattoo artist is a piece of trash, and I'm not crediting them, and I'm not going to say their name or anything like that, but definitely 100% not okay situation that happened there. So we're not gonna give that person more business. But anyway, yeah, so that is my tattoo. That's my story, and that's why suicide prevention and mental health awareness is so important to me personally. So anyway, first story is shared with me by a person who'd like to remain anonymous, so you know who you are. Thank you so much again for sharing your story. I'm looking down because I'm looking at my phone to read their story. So, boop, there's their tattoo right there. Some years ago, a really good friend committed suicide. I was devastated. Nowadays, I remember her often. It's really heartbreaking when someone you love dies, but I think it's more difficult when it is because of depression caused by bullying. I've been bullied too and tried to help her, but finally she did it. If someone ever needs a reason to stay alive, just think of the people they love, like a person who has lived through that. I know how much it hurts, how the family feels. Having her mother cry to me asking why was the most horrible thing I have ever lived. Later, I had depression too and wanted to quit my life as well. But thinking about her and how it feels for the rest of the people, I asked for her help, and now I can say I'm almost recovered. That's the reason of my tattoo. Why a rose? Because every year I still go to the cemetery to leave her a beautiful rose, and if I ever feel really bad again, I look at it. This is just so sweet. Oh my gosh. I look at it and think I have to live for her and for my people. So, sorry, getting a little choked up. But yeah, you're such a good friend for being there for the family. There's definitely, it's kind of weird when this stuff happens. You see the people who are really there for you and who really aren't. But thank you again for sharing this story. And you're right. I mean, living through it and being the people who have to live with the aftermath is hard. One thing that kind of helped me get through that feeling is remembering that their life isn't about me. It was really, I was really angry at my mom for a lot of years, really angry, and I kind of let it go at one point. Well, no, I definitely not let it go, but I mean let that anger go at one point whenever I had finally realized, like, you know what, she's at peace, and her soul was hurting. My mom had been through so much in life that she didn't deserve to go through, so it was just kind of like, okay, you know, it's weird to say, but it's almost like you find peace with it by knowing their soul is at peace. So the second story I'm going to share with you is right here, and it is my tattoo. I'm reading the email now, sorry. This is from my friend Christina. Thank you so much, Christina, for sharing this with me. And with us. I mean, this is a public video. I don't know if it's gonna get a ton of views or whatever, but it's still an important conversation to have, so here we are. My tattoo isn't anything very complex or fancy in design. However, it will always be something special to me and one of my favorites. Almost 5 years ago, I was the victim of a violent and traumatic sexual assault. As a result, I still suffer from PTSD and severe depression. It's been a long road, but I've finally been able to overcome a majority of this experience. Along my journey, I found a book of poetry called Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I'm sorry if I said that name wrong, but I think that's how you say it. The words in this book have been a huge aid in recovering and being able to rewrite and reclaim my story. I was able to share this book with my best friend who had some similar experiences. When we both agree, the book has been a very important step in our continuous road to recovery. So much so that we both decided to get the cover art from the book tattooed on our arms. Thank you again so much for sharing that. And I mean, wow. I wish you all could meet Christina. Like, I wish these people were here so you could meet them, because the people that I know personally are just actually really incredible human beings. And honestly, I've known Christina for a while, and I didn't know that until she shared this story with me. And if you ever meet her, she's one of the most beautiful souls ever. Very, very positive, such a pure person, very accepting of people, and just like deserves everything good in the world. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you ever had to go through that, but I commend you and appreciate everything you do to make people happy every day, because that is what you do very well. So, love you, girl. The next story, boop, right here, from my friend Nicole. So my name is Nicole. I got this tattoo in 2012. Yes, it's a basic ass white girl dream catcher. Girl, we in the same club, okay? In 2009, my senior year of high school, I was at my lowest. My first ever boyfriend broke up with me for another girl in school. I was devastated, excuse me. Oh, it's just young love, it's okay. It still killed. Passing through this story, all my friends ended up abandoning me. I was alone as fuck. I suffered with anorexia, and then bulimia, and then self-harm. I wanted to die. My mom found out and took me to therapy, which I am forever grateful for. Shout out to mom. Shout out to mom. I survived that year with no one. Fast forward to 2012, I still battled those same demons. A band came into my life called Cinema Sleep, and they kind of saved me. They had a song, and a line in the song said, "This is the sound of chasing dreams," and it stuck with me. It's what is tattooed above the dream catcher. I wanted to chase my dreams. I didn't want to die anymore. So I took these words to my tattoo artist, and he drew this for me, and I loved it. And I put it on my arm where my self-harm scars were. it covered them. They're not gone completely, which is okay. I can still see where I started. I can see where I started and where I am now. I look at this and I see that I matter and that my dreams matter. I still suffer every day, but looking at this makes me realize I do have dreams and things to live for. It's okay to slip, but this picks me back up. It is so crazy how many people I know that have covered their self-harm scars with tattoos, and it's like a poetic kind of beautiful thing. Another friend of mine had messaged me about this and said that was something that she had done, and she said she wanted to cover it with art that she couldn't bear to destroy. And I just want to say, your body is art. You know, you guys matter. You're beautiful. Nicole is beautiful, by the way. Anybody in the Pittsburgh area, you should hit her up, because mamacita. But yeah, beauty isn't obviously just on the outside, it's on the inside as well. But yeah, you do matter. All of us matter, and if you ever feel alone, you're not alone. I'm a stranger to anybody who's watching this video, likely, and if I'm not, okay, great, that means you have my personal contact information already. My ears are always open, my inbox is always open, my messages are always open. Like, you are not alone in this world, and if I can help you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. It is never a bother, and it is never an issue. So, that being said, thank you again, Nicole. You're beautiful, and you do matter, and thank you. Say thank you to your mom for me, because she's a real MVP. So, the other story I'm going to show you now is from my friend Josh. So, it is right here. The Oni, also referred to as a demon, the root of their name means hidden and concealed, written with Chinese character for ghost. Sometimes when a human is wicked beyond redemption, they are sent back to earth as an Oni to terrorize those who are wicked, but still less wicked than they. They are considered to be ferocious demons, bringer of disaster, spreaders of disease, and punishers of the damned in hell. I originally came across this painting by Horiyoshi III mid-2016 and fell in love. I'll put that here. Such a powerful image of strength, knowing the power of an Oni. I asked my good friend Sean Patton if he would use this as a reference for my back piece, and here's back piece. It took us 2 years to the day to complete. At the time, it seemed as just another piece that I loved and needed, but slowly transformed to have a much deeper meaning. I've struggled with severe anxiety and seasonal depression for as long as I can remember, and being bullheaded, I always denied help, denied medication, as it was something that I can deal with on my own. I ended up keeping it a secret, pretending it didn't exist, concealed and hid it, as the Oni's name would suggest. It's taken me nearly 29 years to finally accept that this is who I am and that seeking help is okay. Medication doesn't boil down to a loss, but rather a stepping stone to peace. I came to the realization not long ago, actually, that my back piece had a deep subconscious meaning this entire time. The samurai being myself and the Oni being my own personal demons, struggling and battling each other. However, the conclusion, as you can clearly see, is that the samurai has the upper hand. The background, which I did not specifically ask for as I gave Sean the reins for most of my piece, since I have a lot of trust in him, shows that the two are fighting in a dark time, taking place during a thunderstorm atop a steep cliff. Even during our darkest times, no matter what the situation, there's always hope and a chance to overcome it. Even when you're beaten down and the odds are against you, there's always some strength left to overcome. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that marinate for a second. Whew. Oh man. Okay, so this next story was the very first story I received, and I was in tears reading this, so hopefully I don't cry again. But wow, Jessica, wow. I mean, all of these stories are incredible and so strong, but let me just tell you the story. So here's the tattoo here. Inspired by the Need to Breathe lyric, so if you're beating death, then raise your hand, but shut up if you're not. I am the difference maker. My tattoo, Difference Maker, is my most meaningful tattoo. At the time I was thinking about a new tattoo design, Amy Bluell, the founder of Project Semicolon, killed herself. She inspired thousands of people to tattoo semicolons in visible places with the mantra, "My story is not over yet." It seems she abandoned her message in her community. However, my knee-jerk reaction was a response of grief. As with any suicide, I was heartbroken, disappointed, and devastated. I considered a semicolon tattoo in her memory, but I felt it did not capture my devotion to suicide awareness and prevention. You see, I fought with the Grim Reaper for years. I survived. I committed myself to fighting alongside other people, to helping them find their strength, and to seeing them conquer every fucking day. I volunteered as a hotline caller with the National Suicide Hotline, worked at my local domestic violence shelter, and worked at my university's psychology clinic. I learned empathy through my struggle and gave compassion in return. As for my tattoo, I chose a traditional design by Mikey Godwin with my new identity, Difference Maker. A lily to mourn those we lost to suicide, and a rose to celebrate beauty in life. With my opportunity to continue living my life, I am currently a physician assistant student I'm currently a physician assistant student to continue my commitment to help people keep living. I did get teary-eyed, but I made it through. Oh my god. I mean, what an incredible story. Like, wow, thank you for everything you're doing. And these other people, I know for a fact that they've used their own experiences to help others, and I think that's really my point with this video, is that we can help each other and we can really get through this by talking, being open. And I know it's hard sometimes, I know it's embarrassing, but you have to talk through the pain. And you know, sometimes I talk to complete strangers and I just look at them and I'm like, what's up? Are you sad? What's going on? And they'll tell me about their, you know, loved one that passed away or whatever, and we talk and I help them somehow and they help me somehow too. So it's really an even exchange of energy and an exchange of healing each other. So thank you guys all so much for sharing your stories, and thank you to the tattoo shops who still continue to do the semicolon tattoos. I saw a lot of them during the month of September doing a like semicolon flash day, and they did donations to a local suicide prevention nonprofit, and that is absolutely incredible. There are a lot of different organizations to get involved with: Trans Lifeline, the Trevor Project, This Is My Brave, Project Semicolon, I think the American Mental Health Society as well. There's just a lot that you can do. There's a lot of information. I'll link stuff below just so people can get involved, and you can do what Jessica did and go to your local shelters and things like that too, because a lot of people don't think of that stuff, that these people are in situations that they probably want to end their life, and knowing that they are cared about and that their existence matters is so important. So also, I think one of the most important messages through this whole thing is to continue to create. Notice how a lot of these tattoos are based off of art or music from somebody else, or even poetry from somebody else. Continue to create. You don't know who you're gonna help. It doesn't matter if you think you're good or not. It doesn't matter if it's broadly good or not. Your art is so important, and your creations will help somebody. So please don't stop doing that, at least, even if you don't have to have Dr. Phil hour all the time, but definitely if you're a creator, don't ever stop creating, because you will definitely help somebody somewhere along the road. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me for this video. Let's talk in the comments, let's have an open discussion. Like I said, if there's anything I can do for anybody, if you're a person who has a child who's going through this, who's lost a parent, please by all means hit me up. I'm more than happy to help with anything I can. And you matter, you are loved, you are important. So thank you.